to Suffolk Socks, where I Let's Knit podcast, all about knitting and craftiness in general. If you see me keep looking to my left here, my cat is jumping onto the windowsill because he sits and looks into the back garden. So if you have a swish of a furry tail in front of the screen, that's him. So my name's Julie. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry and Facebook as Suffolk Socks, and I am the person behind Suffolk Socks that sells lovely wool sourced with the idea of knitting socks and accessories. So today's Tuesday, the 26th of April. I'm surprised I remember the day because they're all rolling into one of late, aren't they? And I'm coming to you from my home in Ipswich in my back bedroom. My spare bedroom where all my personal knitting is kept. I've decided to just record it up here because it's better light, and my husband's working downstairs, so on a conference call. So welcome. Let's get straight into it, shall we? Finished objects, and I have a few. Well, I've been bit by the crochet bug. I've always been able to crochet. In fact, my granny Lizzie, who was a big influence in my knitting and crocheting, really always crocheted. And I can't remember a time when I couldn't crochet or knit, but more so crochet because my granny taught me to crochet by crocheting around lace hankies, cotton hankies, and putting like the lace border on. So I've always been able to do that. But I still, to this day, can't follow a garment pattern. It's my cat. I can't follow a garment pattern. But I can do a granny stripe. I wouldn't be able to teach anybody how to do it, but I can do it myself. So that is my first finished object. And this really was inspired to crochet along with Martashka Knits on her 21-day crochet challenge. Even though I haven't been working on this for 21 days, but I have got another one, so I can still join in. I think it's actually finished now. The 21 days are up, but I've really been bitten hard by the crochet bug. Anyway, this is my crochet blanket. And it is double. And I did start off with it just using my yarn and some Craft House Magic yarn. But when I had a good look, I've got a big wicker basket full of like half skeins and what have you from what I've dyed, hand-dyed wool. I decided I had loads, that would be a shame not to include it. So I've added all of those in. So there's some Wool Barn, Nora George, Lay Family Yarn, Ring of Rosie, Craft House Magic, and mine. And I've done a border on it just to finish it off. So yeah, absolutely love doing it. So it's going to go and have a bath. I'm just going to put it through the washing machine on a gentle wool wash. And hopefully I can get it dry. Because it might get dried. Well, I'm saying hopefully. It might get washed today. I'm not in a rush to wash it. So let me just move that off there so I can get a shot of it. So yeah. So, and I haven't done it massive. I've just done it lap size. So that I can, that's it, fold it up. Just a nice size. So that's my first finished object. My second, Julio, you're not lying on that. Go away. My second finished object is, I'm losing everything. They're all full of, I had good plans of putting, where's it gone? Is this. This is a bear I bought when I was at Unravel. It was all made up with the dress, but you've got the pattern to knit the shawl, and I'm over dinner now because I'm that busy watching the cat. Let's start again. I got this bear. It's a Philomena Kloss bear. And I bought this from Ida's house at Unravel when I was there in February. And as I said, the dress was already on. You got the dress, she was already dressed with the dress and made up, but you got the pattern for a hat and a shawl. So I knit this just with an undyed cashmere nylon merino blend wool. That's with the hat, and that's how without the hat. Absolutely love these. It lives in my living room on the settee that we don't sit on very often. And I got 3 of these, 1 for me and 2 as gifts for some people. 2 good friends. But she's lovely. She hasn't got a name. I might call her Olga. She looks an Olga, doesn't she? But yeah, that's my second finished object. My third finished object is it's a doll. It's an embroidery this time. And this is a Nancy Nicholson design. Have I got the box? I think I brought the box up. Here this is the box. They're in my shop. I stock them in my shop. But I couldn't resist making one of these. And this is it. You do get a bit of ribbon included. There's a design in for all 3 dolls, and the felt and everything with the iron-on transfer. Now, when you do the transfer, you have to be really careful about how the transfer, because on one of the bits I really burnt it, and it was, so I had to turn it over. Yeah, and you get the design for the back of the dress as well. And I've just hung that with a little light bulb thing. And this hangs just from my fireplace. I've got a nail in my fireplace. It just hangs up till I've made the others. But they're lovely, really good instructions. So that's that finished object. I'm just putting them all on the bed here. Right, my third finished object is a cowl I've made. Now, this is for my Christmas Advent calendar. So I haven't written the pattern up yet, but this is the cowl. And you'll get the pattern in with the Advent, the 24 days of Christmas. It's just a simple cast on and knit. One thing I have done is I kitchenette the join, and I don't like the finish on it, so I've got a different design I'm working on. But I absolutely love this, and this is all made out of wool that will be in my Suffolk Socks Christmas kit. Not exactly the same colours, but there'll be no 2 kits alike. So you get 24 little 10-gram balls, and then you will get 200 grams of a solid or tonal colour. So you might get 4 50-gram balls, or you might get 200 grams. And I'm trying to do it so that no kit is the same. But yeah, absolutely lovely, and they are available online. You can pay half now and your postage, and that will be a non-refundable deposit, and then the balance paid September. Well, you'll receive an invoice before I post them out in October. I might actually post them out a little bit earlier due to a reduced postal service that we have, just due to the lockdown, but I will just play that by ear, see how it goes. I've been sending all my parcels out by Hermes, so they'll all be going out via Hermes now. So yeah, that's absolutely lovely. I've loved doing that. My sister's knitting one, but she's knitting hers in a hand-dyed wool. She's knitting in my school socks in a box. I sent her up for her to do. So that's that. My other finished object is, I don't even know if I brought it up now. I don't think I brought it up. I thought I had. Oh, I have. It's another pair of socks. These are my full Monty socks, and basically it is a ball of each colour from the Monty range in the hot sock section, and I love them all. So I need a pair of socks. I've grabbed one of each colour and I've just changed the colourway on, like just added in stripes. Stripes within a stripe. So these are going in my Christmas box. I don't know why I'm doing Christmas so early this year. I think I don't need any socks. I don't need any jumpers. And I was just thinking about this yesterday, but I'll get onto that in whips. And my final finished objects are these bags I've been making. I'm going to show you them quickly because they will be going in the shop. I can't decide which one to keep for myself though. I've got this one. It's just a knot bag. And then there'll be some more of this going. I need to cut all the loose threads. I love this one. This is a vintage Sanderson print that I've had for a while. I was lucky enough to grab about 6 meters of it at a real good price, so that'll be reflected. But I love it. That one. And then there's the rose one. And the last one is this one. And this is a vintage handmade tablecloth. I have lots of vintage handmade embroidery tablecloths, so I've decided to make them all up into bags. So yeah, so they'll all be going in my shop later on. So they are all my finished objects. It's quite a few, isn't there? And I've got my Love Note jumper as well, but that's upstairs. So I'll not be showing that. Right, let's get into whips. I've got a lot. Anyway, as I was saying before, I have a lot of things on the go on the needles at the minute. And I was just debating an internal debate as to whether I thought I should have just one thing on the go or does it really matter? And I came to the conclusion, and I always come to this conclusion, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't bother me at all. Because actually, I'm not really that fussed about finishing anything. Yeah, it is nice to finish them and gift them, but I'm not really that fussed about finishing them. I just like knitting them, and then it's a bonus when they get finished and I can cast on something else. That's probably why I've got about 13, 14 pairs of socks on the go. So I'm going to go through all my socks and show you just how many sock projects I've got on the go. And they are all living in this bag. This is my Eldon Craft bags. Eldon Wood Craft, I should say, sorry. Let's see the label there. This is Emma. So, my first work in progress is a pair of socks for my granddaughter. 50 stitch cast on a 2.25 needle, and I'm actually doing a rib because I'm making these just as tube socks. And this is a new colourway I've got in. I had loads of new wool delivered last week and I was desperate to cast it on. It's all opal, and this is in the Jazz colour, Jazz range, and I think it's Blue Notes. Blue Notes. Oh, but I love a bit of opal. I couldn't get my tongue around that one. And that's it in the bowl. So that's my first cast on. These are all on DPNs. My second cast on is one of my wools, and this is Slingback. It's either Slingback, Confetti, Espadrille, I think. And this is on a cashmere superwash merino and nylon. So this one is a 64 stitch cast on with a 2.25, and I've got a just the Wedgwood blue contrast for the heel. No other reason than it was there. I thought, oh, I fancy it. Bit of a change. My third one, that's living in my Danny bag, my little bobbins bag, is a man cast on. A man cast on, I always do a rib and 72 stitches on a 2.25. And a lady sock I always just knit with my twisted cuff. And this is a Lay Family Yarn wool that I bought when I was at Kelly's Knitting Retreat in November. And again, with a contrast heel and a fish lips kiss heel. That's the colourway caked up with the mini that you got, and that is the Jack Frost. I've gone. I usually over the last couple of years, I've been knitting with fixed silks and 60 stitch cast on for a woman and 68 for a man. But I found they were getting looser and looser, so I've gone down the needle and up a stitch cast because I quite like a firm finish, firm fabric. And this one, living in my Seren bag, which is Emma. And this is a Ring of Rosie yarn. She doesn't have colours on her. Barbara doesn't do colours. So this is on a Marvellous Twist. And this is a long one again. I'm knitting them slightly longer, the legs. So I don't know who this one is. I've cast on all the people I want to knit for Christmas who are sock worthy. With the exception of my mum. Even though my mum's sock worthy, I haven't cast on a pair for my mum because I'm gonna have a think about which ones to knit. I'm gonna knit her some lazy ones. And I just cast them all on. So I've got loads of socks. And again, this is Barbara's of Ring of Rosie. Ring of Rosie is a wool shop that I go to up in Northumberland, near my mum in Whitley Bay. It's one of my favourite wool shops for all her wool really. She has a fabulous selection of commercial, and she has a range of her own indie dyed wool, which is beautiful. Going back over the years, it used to be like a few skeins on her table, and then now she's got a whole wall of it. It's just like, just spoiled for choice. And this one's living in my tea party bag, which is one of my bags. And again, a man's sock. Again, Barbara's Ring of Rosie. Now on this one, I did start to do a contrast stripe, but it's sort of like, it wasn't even worth the effort or the hassle of doing that because you could hardly see it. So the second one, I'll have to remember just to put it in. And I was going to continue it all the way up, but I'm not going to bother. It was too much hassle for no gain and no benefit. Right, what other ones have I got? Oh, I've got a few. Are you bored yet with all my socks? I should just get them all out. Right, this is a lady sock. This is with Lay Family Yarn, Kelly's wool. And this is Ironbridge. Again, I bought this when I was up at her retreat, and you get a mini with that. So I've done that in the heel, and I'll do the toes. But isn't that lovely? So pretty. Let's see if I can put there's a lovely contrast. Ellie, when I went at Kelly's shop, again, I was spoilt for choice. They were all lovely. I think I came with about 5 skeins. Another pair, which is living in a bag that my friend Tony made me. This is Craft House Magic. What colourway is this? I should remember it because Helen, Josie Kitten's, knitting exactly the same wool as is Country Meadow Makes Jo. And we've been talking about the colourway, but I can't remember it for the life of me. But whatever it is called, it's absolutely beautiful. And it's my only sparkly one. Now, I've made these a little bit shorter because I added some of the main colour into my blanket. It's blown out a bit, isn't it? Isn't that lovely? Oh, gorgeous. And you've got a 20 gram. These are all on DPNs. I'm really enjoying going to DPNs. It's funny, isn't it? I always think, well, I do long circs and what have you, but when I've gone back to knitting with DPNs, it's like, oh, I love knitting with these. And I've got a needle, what do you call it? Thingy protector thing. I don't know what they're called. Needle. Anyway, I put my needles in. That Paula of the Snail Garden and Eva Thief, I got from her. As all the progress keepers I'm keeping on my socks, I got them all from Paula as well. She had a stall when I had my knitting retreat, so I got a few of them. And this one is another sock, but this is a shorty sock. Well, it's short for me. And this is Busy Lizzie, and I can't remember what this is called. Oh, blue in it. But it's pretty. Again, with my twisted cast on. And they're all my socks. And that's again living in one a bag that Emma made me. Emma made me and Tony one when we went to Pomfest way back in the day. Must have been about 4 years ago. 3 years ago. So she gifted Tony and I one of them, as did Tony made Emma and I one of these when we went to Shetland Wool Week. Another work in progress. Right, where's it gone? Oh, it's here. Right. Another work in progress is living in my new pink hazel bag. Isn't this lovely? This was a bag she made especially for me and a friend. We both got the same bag, and the person who I gift the other bag to has got hers. So we can be knit project bag twins. I wasn't going to tell the other person, and it was going to be a complete surprise. But for post, I had to put my name on so that the recipient would know who it was from. So I thought, oh, I'll just come clean. Absolutely lovely. Love pink hazel bags. I've got one hanging on the back of my door there, right there, where my cat, is sitting waiting to be out patiently. So I know, so I'm going to have to get up. Just put my skirt. Come on, then out you go. And if you go out, you can't come back in. Right. So yeah, so in this bag is another crochet blanket, granny stripe blanket. And this time I decided to use, all of my hand-dyed wools are all like predominantly feminine colours and lights, like pastel colours. And I wanted one that was more, I suppose not manly. I don't want it to be manly, but one that's not going to show the muck up as quick. And this is every shade of Cooper Knits Sockier wool. I just cake them all up, and I'm just looking to see if I've got my Notions pouch. What I did was I cut a little bit of the colour wool, sellotaped to the ball band, and thought I'll do random. I cannot do random. I am such a control freak when it comes to things like this. So when I started it, I had 5 attempts at casting on a colour. I thought, I'm adamant, I am really going to stick to this. So the first colour I picked out, I thought, oh, I don't want to start it in that. I'll put that back in that bit. No, I don't want to do that. And then I just went for this colour. And do you know, it really stressed me out. In the grand scheme of things, what the hell have I got to be stressed out about? But it was really like stressing, making me quite anxious. So then I said to my husband, pick a colour out of here, and I'm going to knit that stripe next. So, I went on thinking, and I'm not going to change my mind. Blah, 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 blah. So you pick the colour, and I went, oh, I'm not knitting with that one, picking another colour. So now it's just all like, if I take it out, I've got to cast it out, join it in. And so far, it's going all right, but I'm not. It's not relaxing when I do that. So that's my other whip. My final whip, which is, like, I'm looking thinking, well, in the grand scheme of things, I have got a lot. But if I stuff all my socks in just one project bag, that's just one whip as far as I'm concerned. It might be for like the 26-leg monster, but it's just one whip as far as I'm concerned. And as I said, I was chatting to Emma and saying how many socks I had cast on. I says, well, what I'll do is I'll cast the first sock of this year, and then next year I'll just cast on sock 2. It doesn't really bother me. It's a bit like the time when I did one Christmas Eve cast on, and I just didn't like the wool at all. But I was still in the mindset where I had to finish. I had to finish something before I started another one. So what I did was I put it in a plastic bag and I put it in the bottom of the Christmas tree decorations. So that went up in the loft. Thought, well, can I get out now? Can I? That didn't work too well either, because I did that with all my prescriptions. I got all my tablets from the pharmacy, and I accidentally packed them in the Christmas tree decoration boxes. They were just sitting on the settee. I've just put them on the settee while I was packing the tree away and what have you. Now, I've worked in pharmacies for years, and you hear all excuses of people who want repeats. I've done with that prescription, but I had to go and say, listen, I've packed my Christmas tree away with my prescriptions, and my husband won't go in the loft for them. So I got another prescription, and then the following year eventually I got them out. So my next project, and it's my last project I've got, and that is living in my Emily Cross knitting ball. Isn't that lovely? These are so nice. They are so nice. But I think a knitting ball is probably best for me with just the one, like a pair of socks. Because I can just fit the wool in where I've started in, then I've got to keep the rest of the wool somewhere else. Whereas if it's just socks, that's ideal. But I absolutely love this. I got this from Waltham Abbey, yeah. And it was Emily Cross one. Me and our Lucy, I was there with my daughter. And our Lucy got one as well. It's lovely. And I actually have this as sort of like an ornament in my living room. So that goes back and forwards between there. Anyway, I'm digressing. And what is in it is this. But I am knitting the kiddie version. I can show you this one because there's no instructions. I'm knitting that one for my granddaughter. Well, it's not unfixable. Is that such a word? Bad grammar. All my stitch count was right up until I did the last increase, and the increases worked out. So I had, I had the right amount left at the end and what have you. And then when I've done the final stitch count, ready for the last, ready to go on to the pattern, I made stitches too many. So I've got a choice. I can either pull it all out, or I can just decrease as I'm going around. And I think it's the decreasing as I go around method, because it is just a kid's jumper, and I'm making it a bigger size for her to play, because in September she starts school, so she's not going to be wearing out of uniform clothes very as much as what she does now. Anyway, I'm knitting this with John Arbin Knit by Numbers 4-ply held double, and I knit my confetti jumper in this. And I don't know why, but I had 2 skeins of each extra, but it's enough to do her a jumper. I did start, and I did post on Instagram that I'd gone old school, and I started to knit our Flynn jumper in some Rowan extra fine DK Merino on flat needles, and it was a King Cole pattern that I've had for years, and but I just couldn't do it. I can knit like this, no problem, but I can't knit like this on long needles. So I had to have one tucked under my arm. Now, if it was tucked under my arm and I was looking down, I actually couldn't focus on the needles, it shot my eyes. And by about the times I'd done 10 rows of rib, my eyes were virtually meeting in the middle, and I thought, oh, do you know what? And then I looked at the colour and I thought to myself, grey is I like grey, don't get me wrong, but for a 1-year-old, when I've got so many lovely hand-dyed wools, and my daughter-in-law all my kids are very knit-worthy, and she loves the kids in hand-knit stuff. But then I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to have to knit him a brighter colour than that. I can't be doing with that malarkey. So I pulled it out and I've just started on this one. And I'll knit him one, but in a more, well, not pink. So I'm sure he wears pink. Well, I know he wears pink because he sleeps in half of Matilda's old pyjamas. But just his colour, he's like lovely olive skin in dark hair. Matilda's very blonde. She takes after my girls for that, and me. So I used to be white blonde up until I was pregnant with Tom when I was about 25, and then my hair went really dark. And then 7 years ago, I woke up one morning, I had this white patch streak down the front of me face, front of my hair. But on my daughter-in-law's side, her brother's very dark, and his little boy Elijah, it's like looking at Elijah when I look at Flynn. They are so alike, and they've got a grin from ear to ear. He's absolutely adorable. And while lockdown's been on, I'm going to turn it over on my board now. While lockdown's been on, he's now walking, and he's got a mouthful of teeth. He's got all top and bottom teeth. And our Matilda, she's so funny. She was having she was doing something the other week, and she said the word crap. I don't know who she's got that from. It's not me. I'm fairly sure of that. Anyway, it doesn't matter who she got it from. She said the word crap. So her dad said to her, Matilda, you can't say that word until you're at least 20. And so she was like, okay, Daddy, okay. Because she's very good talker. Anyway, later on that day, she was having a bit of a tum fee about something. She turned around to her dad and said, Daddy, do I have to wait till I'm 20 to say bloody? It's like, how can you be upset? You see, that made my day. That I thought was so blooming funny. Anyway, there you go. So, right. That's everything. Shall I show you some acquisitions, what I've got? Well, apart from my favourite, which is my pink hazelback, I have bought, and I'm going to have to show you all this again because I did do another podcast last week and it was really nice with loads in and what have you. And then there's one sentence that is too much information. Well, not horribly or unsavoury or anything like that, but just I didn't want it in. It just give reference about something personal. So I didn't want it in. You're all going to be wondering what it is, isn't it? So there you go. Nothing bad, nothing horrible. It's not even about anybody else. It's just about where I give. I don't like saying when I'm going to be here and when I'm not going to be here, and where I live and stuff like that. So you just have to be so careful, don't you? With social media, just so careful. Anyway, you're a lovely lot. Acquisitions. I took part in the Fibre Share that was run, where you pay your £8 and you get allocated a partner and what have you. And I was allocated Rachel, and she is, well, actually, I think it's a private account, so she's from Canada, and I received her parcel. Oh, what a treat! What a blinking treat! I got a lovely triangle. I don't know what you call them. well, it's like a tiny little project bag, but it's more like an Oceans pouch, and I use it as an Oceans pouch. Is it in here? Let's just see if it's in here. Oh, it's in here. Look. I received this. Absolutely chuffed to bits with it. She made it for me, and in it was a pair of Fiskars foldable scissors, because I'm always losing scissors, and they said, you know, you did like a little survey about what you like and what you don't like. But these are my little scissors. I absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. So they live in the bag, and I've got some lovely stitch markers that I'm using, and I did get some sweets, but they're downstairs in my shop room. So I got that. And I also got 3 skeins of the most lovely, lovely wool. So this is the first one. And this is by, let me see, Shirley Bryan Yarns. Isn't that lovely? And that's a merino nylon. And that's 100 grams. That's right, Claire, sorry. That is just so me. That's that one. Then this one is called Swan Lake, and it's by Elsie and Evelyn. Again, that's so me. Absolutely lovely, and that's quite fine actually, but it'll be lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And the final one that was in the skein, in the parcel, was Miss Frizzle, and this is by a Canadian dyer called Skein or Shine. Skein or Shine, and this is a worsted, so that should be enough for a hat for me. So I think and that's 100% superwash merino. Isn't that lovely? So Rachel, thank you very much. I'm fairly confident you don't watch my podcast, but just in case you decide, I come up on your screen. I thank you. Greatly appreciated. And my final purchase, I bought this a while ago actually, is oh, what the hell's that on there? I've just opened it as well. Look at that. Well, it's not good, is it? Oh, I wish I'd seen that. Oh, well, there you go. That's still been wrapped in its wrapper until this week. 52 weeks of socks. And I've quickly looked at it when I got it, but I just haven't even I've never got round to sitting and having a good old look at it really. But there'll be something cast on out of that once I've finished. Once I'm on to sock 2 with me. Actually, I might make my man something out of this. You can take this off. Let's have a look. There you go. I did look into stocking this, or what have you, and I thought really hard about this, and I did a bit of a small survey amongst friends and what have you, and I decided not to, but I me and my friends have all bought it, but I just decided not to. The suppliers who were going to have bought it were I knew you could get it from them, so I was a bit concerned that I might be left with a few, and I don't really sell. The only patterns I sell are my patterns, but this is beautiful, and it's a real treat. It was. I bought it from Meadow Yarn, and Meadow Yarn, she's local to me. Lovely. So yeah, and that's everything. That is everything. Before I go, I will just show you one thing I'm now stocking in the shop. I'm slowly increasing my range in the shop, and last year I introduced Spare Moments, which is the needlework section, and Spare Moments is the name of my old bricks and mortar shop that I used to have. And one of the things I get asked more often than not is, do I sell ready-made socks? Now, I wasn't going to bother with them, but last year I bought a ready-made pair of socks, like I bought some West Yorkshire socks, and to try them out and what have you, and I absolutely loved them. And I bought my husband some as well, and he said, because he's a motorbiker, they were lovely to wear. And I wear my hand knit socks as slippers, really. So even in the summer, when I go in the garden, on a night, because I'm big caravanners, I've often got my clogs on with a pair of hand knit socks and like my shorts on my dress. I look ridiculous, but nobody else can see. But at least my feet are warm. So I decided to stock West Yorkshire Spinners ready-made socks. And I've got a great range. I have got a good range. I bought a small and a medium. Small and medium are predominantly the brighter colours. Like the cocktail range and what was the other range? Cocktail range. Anyway, they're the brighter colours. And then the large sizes, I've stuck more to the dark, the bird range, the bird range. Yeah, the country bird range. But they're lovely. The hand wash at 30. You don't tumble dry them. They're 90% British wool, 9% polyester lycra, and 1% elastane. What I really love about them is there's the colours. The colours are fabulous, and but the soles are so squidgy and thick that they are so comfy to wear with me walking shoes. I just blooming love them. So everybody be getting a pair of these for me for Christmas, with a disclaimer saying I know I didn't knit them. And then I love these ones. And yet, when I had that wool in, the sherbet, I didn't like the colour, the wool. But when I've seen the socks, they're very pretty. As is the Mojito. Mojito, isn't it? Let's see what the colourway. I'm sure it's Mojito. Anyway, that's a cocktail range. Yeah, it is. Fabulous. And that's everything. So now I'm going to go and rewatch this with a slice of toast and a cup of coffee for my breakfast because it's just 10 o'clock. I'm having a late start to the day. And then I've got some parcels to sort out. And be a bit of a domestic goddess for a couple of hours. Although nothing's really getting untidy in my house because we're here all the time. So there you go. So stay safe, happy knitting, and hopefully this gets out to you soon. Bye.